Now, before I start today's episode of the WrestleTalk news, a lot of my tout followers have asked me to address what happened on last night's QuizzleMania X7, because there's been some doubt over whether or not I was serious. I can, in fact, confirm that yes, indeed, I did raise £5,723 for the mental health charity Calm. Thank you everyone for your support, that's so good us. There's a few other insignificant bits that happened on the show too, like me not retaining my QuizzleMania championship. What the jam was that all about? But I'll get to all that unimportant Luke Owen stuff at the end of the show. Because as newsworthy as QuizzleMania X7 was, NXT had all the things happen. And Triple H says they don't counter-program. By far the biggest news coming out of Wednesday's NXT is that Karrion Kross, the man who beat Keith Lee for the NXT Championship at Saturday's TakeOver XXX, has had to relinquish the belt. Kross sold an arm injury during the championship match on Saturday, which Triple H revealed hours afterwards wasn't a work, confirming on the post-TakeOver media call that Kross had separated his shoulder. Kross seemed optimistic about the injury to ESPN on Tuesday though, saying he was feeling positive after his MRI, hoping, from my point of view, no, I won't be out for a significant period of time. WWE doctors unfortunately appear to think otherwise, as having Kross completely vacate the NXT Championship implies his injury will put him on the shelf for at least several months. Karrion's title reign was just 4 days long. But WWE do some of their best booking when their backs are against the wall. And whether it was the sudden loss of Kross, along with the previous NXT champion Keith Lee being called up to the main roster on Monday night, AEW Dynamite consistently beating them head-to-head in the ratings this year, that the TV schedules are all over the place for the next several weeks, or perhaps the start of a new creative reign, with former NXT writer Joe Belcastro leaving the company several weeks ago to be replaced by a booking team of Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Road Dogg, henceforth known as DXT. WWE's third brand last night over-delivered on stuff happening, with next week's episode taking place on Super Tuesday instead of the usual Wednesday because of the NHL playoffs on the USA Network. William Regal announced a 60-minute Iron Men match for the vacant NXT Championship between Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, Adam Cole, and the just-returned Tommaso Ciampa. And this isn't your good guy Tommy from when we last saw him. Tommaso returned at his demented best after being off TV for 2 months, himself losing to Kross at TakeOver in Your House. Ciampa squashed Jake Atlas on the show, and then carried on with a brutal beatdown around the ring in his old Blackheart style. It was previously thought Ciampa could be one of the members of Metribution, which this new direction on NXT presumably rules him out of. But Tommaso wasn't the only noteworthy return, because a controversially missing Raw star appears to have been drafted back to NXT. Austin Theory hasn't been seen on Raw since the 8th of June, being removed from TV around the same time as the Performance Center's outbreak of COVID-19. It was thought he was missing because of virus-related reasons, but then Dave Meltzer revealed he was actually off Raw because he was suspended of sorts. Theory's Monday Night Messiah leader Seth Rollins contradicted this, telling Sports News Austin was taking time off for personal reasons. But then on Monday, Meltzer reported it was actually to do with speaking out accusations. There's an allegation against him, and then he disappeared. It's not an injury or anything like that. WWE may go and say he had a car accident, he'll be back, so I presume that it's a Velveteen Dream type of story. Which is seemingly exactly what happened. Dream was also taken off TV around the same time as allegations against him resurfaced on Twitter, and then he returned 2 weeks ago on NXT, being put right in to the North American Championship picture. Triple H said Dream was only missing from TV because he was rehabbing from a car accident injury, and added that their investigations didn't find anything anyway. Several of his accusers, however, claimed they were never contacted about this. In Theory's case, after also being missing from Raw for 2 months, it appears he's now been sent back to NXT, interrupting a Bronson Reed promo on last night's episode, who was arguing for a North American title shot against Damian Priest. Going by WWE.com though, Theory is still on the Raw roster, which he was called up to as a replacement for Andrade shortly before WrestleMania, where he was quickly moved to Seth Rollins' Monday Night Messiah faction. Also on last night's packed episode of NXT, Kyle O'Reilly teased a singles split with the Undisputed Era, not wanting to join in on on Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong's beatdown of Drake Maverick. And we've got new NXT Tag Team Champions, where Breezango beat Imperium. Mandatory Triple H pointing picture. It's Tyler Breeze and Fandango's first ever tag team titles in the company, but Tyler's up, down, down nemesis, Xavier Woods, wasn't best pleased. None of you are in the group chat. None of you have any idea how unbearable my life is about to be. You only see a small percentage. No one knows my hell. Wade Barrett also made his return to WWE for the first time in 4 years, joining the announcer's desk while Mauro Ranallo is away. He'll also be there for Super Tuesday's show. And now here's everything else going on in wrestling news. PW Insider are reporting more updates in the ongoing trial of Sonya Deville after a man broke into her home and was arrested on August 16th. The Hillsborough County Court has denied a motion from local Florida media that evidence in the trial, including Instagram messages, video footage from that night, and photos of her home, be released to the public, stating they wouldn't release evidence prior to a hearing. The stalker, named Philip Thomas, has been denied bail out of concern for Deville's safety and the safety of her family members. It's also come out since the incident that Deville has received even more threatening messages from other unknown individuals, like "I'll finish the job that Philip started," and "my knife is sharper than Philip's." Thomas remains incarcerated in the Hillsborough County Jail under the following charges: aggravated stalking, armed burglary of a dwelling, armed kidnapping for ransom or reward or hostage, and criminal mischief for less than $200. In an interview with Gorilla Position and Alex McCarthy, Dominic Mysterio has revealed the creative mind behind his SummerSlam match against Seth Rollins. Backstage agent Jamie Noble. McCarthy tweeted, "Noble works with Rollins a lot. Did the eye for an eye match too. Given how great Rollins stuff almost always is, says a lot about what a great mind Noble has. J&J Security 444 for life. Showing what a wonderful place the internet can be, WWE's new Thunderdome concept went from fans streaming their Pikachu cuddly toys to Chris Benoit images and footage of KKK rallies in just 3 shows." According to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, WWE are swiftly putting in procedures to stop this happening again, by putting fans they can trust who have done this before without incident in the first few rows, while first-timers are going to be placed in the upper bowl of the stands. And finally today, new Universal Champion, though probably not for long, Bray Wyatt, has sent a message to the man who originally beat him for the belt, Goldberg, on Twitter. "Dearest Goldberg, don't worry, old friend, we fixed it. Don't listen to what they say. You and I know they're wrong. I forgive you. But please, if you see the red, walk away from it." Considering Goldberg has revealed he has 4 more matches on his WWE contract left, although none this year, perhaps this could be teasing a future encounter between the two, where Bray Wyatt wins this time. Hopefully. So that's it. That's today's news. Go and watch Louis Dangour's interview with Ric Flair that just went up yesterday, or our WrestleTalk payback predictions by clicking the links in the video description below. I give you so much content, and content is good. But if you want to stick around and hear little old me talk for a bit about the genuinely very trivial events of last night's trivia show QuizzleMania, be my guest. Here's a recap of what happened. This is the first time I've had my best bud running the show.
Yes, yeah, you are one of my best friends in the entire world. But as I've been saying to you throughout, I'm calling this right down the middle.
Yeah, call it right down the middle, pal.
Yep, absolutely, right down the middle. Incorrect. Incorrect. Incorrect.
Wow.
Incorrect. In third place with 44 points, it's your current reigning tag team champion, Ollie Davis.
Sorry, where did I come? Can you read those out again?
Yes, of course I can, mate. Very
Sorry.
good effort. 44 points.
Wait. You'll address me as Mr. Davis now. And you're fired. So Luke's fired, everyone.
What?
He's gone from the company.
I mean, you didn't fire him, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah. And
Because you didn't win?
no, I thought we had an understanding at the start of the show when I was ahead. I don't know, there's a lot of super chats still to read out.
Okay, well, let's move it along, Ollie, because this is really weird.
I try to keep talking about Luke. It's gone. Okay. Jam. It's been a weird year, hasn't it? Generation-defining worldwide news stories, like Adam Blompier joining this channel back in February, meaning I might not be the biggest name around here anymore, but what a great addition to the team he's been. I knew what you wanted then. The launch of Parts Unknown, where we're making some of the best produced wrestling videos on YouTube, led by our Vacated Laurie Blake, who still hasn't made my WrestleTalk Underground idea. I knew what you wanted then. 2. And making Chopper dance for your enjoyment, to build his character. So when he finally stood up to me and made me dance cosplay as AJ Lee in public, that was what you wanted again. And all that hard work, all that dedication, and not sleeping and tearing up scripts last minute paid off. Not only did I defeat FTF from becoming this channel's official slogan at SummerSlam's live reactions, Jam That Jam, I also won the QuizzleMania Championship. WrestleMania 2000 all by myself. That was what you wanted. And you wanted me to stay champion. But that rogue, that reprobate, that good-for-nothing bastard Luke Owen, who I called my best friend, stopped that from happening. He stopped you from getting what you want. I've been thinking recently about how much I've grown. I've lost so much QuizzleManias. And it got me to thinking about the greatest loss I've ever suffered. Almost exactly 2 years ago to when I speak these words now. My sexy jacket. 2 years I read your comments. Bring back the jacket, Ollie. You're my favourite presenter, Ollie. Who threw the pie in Kevin Owens' face, Ollie? And while I can't bring back my sexy jacket, I lost that. I can give you a different jacket. A jacket you never knew you wanted. Last night's QuizzleMania X7 started a new era of WrestleTalk. An era without unprincipled people like Luke Owen. Yes, he really is fired. It's now the era of Mr. Davis. It's said that when Alexander the Great saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer. Don't worry. The only tears in my eyes are ones of joy to see the wrestling empire I alone have created. WrestleTalk, Parts Unknown, WrestleTalk interviews, and WrestleTalk clips. Give them all a subscribe. In fact, I'll start with WrestleTalk clips right now. Let me enjoy what I said about Raw just 2 days ago in an easily digestible, watchable, clipped-out format. What's this? The banner's changed. Why is it called Wrestle Luke? I fired you, Luke. I fired you. Don't click this video on the right. It seems like some kind of shoot video of Luke Owens. This is against his contract. Don't go over to what's he calling it? He's calling the channel Wrestle Luke. It isn't what you want. It isn't allowed. You want me. You want me. I've been Mr. Davis. Jam that jam.